Thank you guys for coming. I'm going to give some brief updates on the critical incident that we had overnight. I am Sergeant Myra Reeson. I am a sergeant with the Public Affairs Bureau with Phoenix PD. Spelling of my name is Mayrareeson. At approximately 1 a.m. last night, officers were called to the area of 1707 West Bell Road by a security officer working at the establishment. Upon arriving, our officer confirmed with the security guard details of the call. The officer made contact with the suspect, who agreed to leave the establishment. As the officer was escorting the individual outside of the establishment, the suspect, unprovoked, turned around and stabbed our officer twice in the neck area, incapacitating our officer. QT security guard heroically jumped in to assist in capturing and holding down the suspect until backup officers arrived. Our officer was rushed to a hospital with serious injuries. He is currently stable and will be under observation for several days. This is the second time in a week where our officers have been brutally attacked by violent offenders. Chief Sullivan has some strong words that this should not become the norm. The community should be outraged. This is unacceptable behavior towards our law enforcement officers. We are grateful that our officer is expected to recover. We're also grateful for the bravery of the QT officer and other employees who intervened, sustaining injuries himself. We're grateful for the community support. We ask you to keep our officer and his family in your prayers. The suspect is in custody. He will be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law once he is released from medical care himself. With me today, I have Commander Siegmund. He is the commander of the precinct of our officer involved, and he will give you a few words.
Thank you. My name is Commander Matt Siegmund of the Black Mountain Precinct, and I'd like to echo a lot of the same sentiments that the sergeant here described. It's outrageous that for the second time in under a week we've had an officer brutally attacked by a suspect. Thankfully, we have the support of the community. I've heard from several business leaders and community leaders in Black Mountain Precinct that wanted to offer their best wishes to the officer as he recovers. I had a chance to speak to the officer this morning while he was recovering. As she said, that he will be in the hospital for several days recovering from these injuries. But the important thing to know is that within a couple millimeters, one way or another, this could have been a tragedy for the Phoenix Police Department. And actions like this are simply unacceptable. I'm thankful that that officer has the support of his family, the support of his squad mates who were there by his side at the hospital, and with the support of everyone at Black Mountain Precinct and the Phoenix Police Department, we're going to continue to work the streets, make sure the community is safe, make sure that the Final Four events go off without a hitch, and still deliver the same quality service that the community is accustomed to receive at the Phoenix Police Department. Thank you.
I'll be available to answer a few questions.
Do you think this is related to the Final Four as far as like increased traffic?
I think I'm confident to say this is in no way related to Final Four.
What actions is Phoenix PD taking to step up as far as?
Well, I mean, this just goes to show. This was a priority 3, more than likely, trespassing call. We go to these calls all day, every day. And like we've said many times, there's no such thing as a routine call. You never know how something is going to turn out. This was definitely not expected. The level of violence that was shown to our officer in a split instant was, like Commander said, we are extremely lucky. This was very, very critical that this didn't go a different way and we would be mourning yet another loss.
Have you ever been called to this area often, and what do we know about the suspect in custody?
I can speak to the area. The area at 17th Avenue and Bell Road is one of our hotspots in the precinct for activity. The officers are routinely over in that area addressing various issues, quality of life issues, as well as criminal issues in the area. So it's a very well frequented area by the officers.
kind of preliminary charges are we looking at here?
You know what? That's going to be determined by our criminal investigators who are leading that part of the investigation, and I don't want to make any statements that would contradict what the charges and they'll know best what to charge this suspect with when the time comes.
So we are consulting with Maricopa County Attorney's Office. They are involved in the investigation. They will ultimately make the determination on charging, but I would imagine at least aggravated assault several times. Not only our officer, our QT security guard who sustained some minor injuries and was treated on scene. I believe other QT employees also assisted. So we have at least 3 counts of aggravated assault. It's a felony too. But like I said, that will be ultimately determined by Maricopa County Attorney's Office on what the charging will be.
Were there any customers also in the store at the time?
From what I was told, there were customers that were at the store at the time, and as we talked about how fortunate we were that the stab wound wasn't as bad as it could have been. The other thing that you have to take into account is that without the actions of the security guard and those 2 other employees at the QT, this could have continued to be a very bad situation for the officer as well as the community if those people did not have the courage to intervene and help the officer, which, I mean, it goes to show you that the support that we have as a community with Phoenix and the officers, that those actions of those people saved that officer's life.
How long has the officer been with the force?
He hasn't been on the department very long. He is currently at 6 months of employment, but the important thing to note is that he was before he was a reserve officer, which is one of our volunteer officers who transitioned to a full-time employment with the department.
You said in the last 2 weeks there have been injuries. What would you like the community to know about safety going forward?
This is what we'd like to say is this just goes to show the bravery of our officers. We, as we're just recovering from the previous incident, we're sustaining another one. We're out there. Phoenix has some of the bravest officers around. I will stand behind any of them, and we will continue. No matter what, we're going to continue to provide our community with safety. Our crime statistics have been being addressed. I know that there's not much that we can do, but we'll continue to go out there. We're continuing to hire. We are, recently we opened up a real-time operations center to help officers, direct them in the right direction. A second one is going to be opened up soon. We're doing everything that we can. We're recruiting, we're hiring, we're still making sure that there is officers available for those 911 calls every day. All right, thank you guys for coming. Shortly after, we will be sending out a media advisor with the information provided.
Thank you, officer.
Thank you.
Thank you.